Okay, I am back from vacation and I'm happy to be back, but I walked into the total disaster of a shop. This shop is a total mess, and recently I've been very good about cleaning up before I go to the next project, but since I was working so hard to get as much of the truck done as possible, I wasn't even thinking about cleaning up. I was just blasting through stuff. So we got to clean this up. While I'm doing that, I'm going to talk to you about what's coming up next because there's a lot of things going on. The first thing is that I now have enough data to give you guys an MPG video, really explaining what the MPG was stock. And remember, this is 410 gears. And then as I added things, because I added a lot, and then going away, we were probably at around 1,700 pounds payload. That's a lot. And I'm going to tell you what the MG, and I really learned a ton during this trip, which was a good 1,500 miles. So let me start getting cleaned up, and I'll tell you some other things that we're going to be doing. Okay. A lot of cardboard to burn. The next thing I want to do is a video on that refrigerator. I really have a good idea about just the quality of it, and the size is important to talk about, what it can fit, what it can't fit, and the price, is it worth it? I have a video that I'm going to be doing on that. We'll see that coming up. And then we also have to continue with this build because I have a big trip planned for this summer. I don't want to say exactly where just now because there's a possibility that I won't be able to go there, if you know what I mean. And if that is the case, then I'm going to have to cancel and go somewhere else. And I don't want to get involved in, oh, we're going here, we're going there, we're going here, oh, we cancel this, blah, blah, blah. I'm not about that. But as far as continuing the build, man, I mean, the camper bed part is, phew. I only bolted the kitchen cabinet to the side of the bed. I need to bolt the other side. That thing was sliding all over the place. And I don't know, we got a floor to do. We got a table we got to do. We got to move to 12 volt. We got a serious amount of stuff to do. Then we got some inside work to do. I'll talk about that in a second. Home less than 24 hours and I need to break out the generator. Oh man, it was bad. We had a rainstorm and the garage ended up flooding. Now, if you watched some of my previous videos where I had thought I solved the garage issue by putting up a gutter system that sent everything around the other side and dumped it off in the lot next door, you would have thought that this has been done, finished. There should be no flooding. Well, I got a new flooding issue now where water's coming in the front door. So we got a hill this way. The water's coming down, and I think that since the ground is mostly frozen right now, the water's not seeping into the ground. It's kind of just riding along the top. And it just came right in here and blew the whole garage out. I think once the ground thaws, I'm going to have to rent a machine and just come in here and trench this entire thing out. Like massive. Even across the front, put a trench through the front. And I'm not sure, maybe put a channel in, a concrete channel that water can't go. It'll fall in the channel and run off. We'll see what happens, but definitely I got to rent a machine and trench this thing out because it's coming in from all sides now, unfortunately. I haven't had a problem with this. This really has been good. It's really solved this side. It's this problem now. All right, speaking of problems, inside work. Inside work. While we were away, we had some people do some work on the house, and we came home to a disaster. It was so bad, I have a hard time really explaining how bad it was. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. I was in construction 20 years. I've never seen a job this terrible. So I kind of need to dust off my tool belt here and fix this problem myself because I can't really let the people back in to solve it. First of all, I don't know if they can solve it. Second of all, they couldn't do it right the first time. But we got two dogs. We got the kid. My wife's working at home. I own my own company. I'm working at home. So it's chaos in the house. We can't have a couple people on ladders doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just pick at it myself over time. This is, I'll be honest with you, this is like a couple of 100 hours worth of labor to fix this. That's a lot. That is a lot for one person to fix something. And like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail. Did I say that? I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but basically we tried to do a carpet ceiling, and it's the worst. It's the worst I've ever seen. So I got a lot of wood filler to do. I got just a lot of nail holes to cover, a lot of caulk, a lot of painting, you know, and it is what it is. I'm going to get it done. I'll do some videos on it like in the far future, but yeah, there's some inside work to do that I wasn't really prepared for. I also got a deck to build. That I was prepared for. That's what I was going to do this summer. Now I got a flooding garage still, and I got to fix 1,500 board feet of molding. That's basically what it is. It's all needs to be fixed. 1,500 board feet, one person. That's a lot. But yeah, I was going to redo a deck. If you've probably seen this deck right on the side of the house, old deck right here. It's like a third floor deck. It's not really a third floor deck. It's like a 2.5 stories up deck. I'm going to rip it down and I'm going to redo it. But, hopefully I have time. And that's kind of where we're at. Obviously, the truck stuff is really still happening, and it's kind of like the main focus of the channel. I would say it's going to be 75% truck stuff. But yeah, I'm going to filter in some things here and there to... just because these are stuff that I'm doing, and maybe you're interested in seeing it. Some people are, some people aren't. I totally understand that. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of different videos going on, but mostly truck stuff. We got to keep on going because I got that big trip this summer. So, all right, everyone. I will see you on the next video, which will be MPG. And I'm excited to talk about a lot of numbers, though. If you're not a numbers person, you probably don't care about MPG then. But actually, it's not true because I don't care about MPG, but I love numbers. Man, do I love numbers. So I got a ton of numbers for you. It's going to be fun, I think. All right. I'll see you.